Hello again. Continuing the cycle from one project to the next. Now I'm back here at my Start Menu Manager, which I've been working on diligently for the past few hours, more than that. And now this is what I have so far. So this here is that same list. The red X's are things I don't know how to get an icon for. But as you can see, there are no more funny, except for these things. Everything looks like programs with their icons or some kind of, these would be components of some sort. I'm not sure how to look them up, but I'm sure it's easy to figure out. Now all of these things, anything that ended with an exe, I tried to turn into a path and locate the program and get its icon. Sometimes I couldn't get an icon and I just put this. I should also check for existence, I guess. So this is a much more readable list, I think, than the original. How does this work? Well, there are two things that I found coming up in the registry. I should probably display this without just with the, if I can do it, I'll do a print screen. Let's see now. I want to see, or maybe I can do two lists. I don't know. Well, I'll do a print screen just for ease. So where do I print this string? Where do I put the string in? Add string element. And this element is decrypted. So instead of element, why don't I just do, for this case, temporarily, just do stir, which is we want at least the rotate. So I can take a print screen of this printout. Try to get as many. No, there's not. There's this one. These are the same. The D6 one. I want to get as much as possible. Okay, this has got an A and a D and a 7. That's 3. Can we get more in there? And an F. That's 4 different crypto things. Print screen. Paint job. And paint. It's faster for making a copy. Let me go past there. Hang on a sec. Print screen. Okay, that's good. Save as encrypted, encrypted. All right. So now what I'll do is I'll put this back. What am I doing here? Where's the compiler? It just crashed. The compiler just crashed, didn't it? Sorry about that. And look, it knows where to go back to. That's unusual. That's very unusual. It is set to auto restart in certain cases, but and the first time, and it's not going to be a plugin. Yes, it is. It must have thought it successfully restarted itself and continued on. Alright, now we got that up. And we can go to that picture. And look at them side by side. Auto-generated rhinoceros here. So we're somewhere around here. That thing is this tool next. Okay. Actually, it looks like that. Okay. Now this one actually, the program that just doesn't exist. That's why it's not getting the icon. So, and I know it doesn't exist because I remember I uninstalled this, but it's still in my history. And so same with this. This one still exists, obviously. That is a regular path. This is not a path. So most of these things came out of the registry somehow. And I've noticed two possible ways. And it seems to cover everything, almost everything. One is we're in that file. In this decrypting section. First here, I check to see if the wait a minute, is that the full thing? Yeah, okay. If the end of the string has an exe in it, right? The rotated string. If it doesn't, I don't do anything. If not, I'm going through bit by bit of the string separated by slashes. And if one of those components of the string happens to be a GUID, I made this function up. I think it's pretty solid. Has to be this length, has to have this at the beginning, this in the end. And if you strip those braces, there can't be a dash at the first or last position. There has to be a dash at position 8, 13, 18, and 23. And then those have to be the only dashes, and the rest has to be numbers or letters or dashes. So that pretty much fixes it to one format like that. Okay. If it is a GUID, then now first I thought that this was the only type, so this function is not named correctly, and what the shell folder description is, and that succeeds, is you go into the registry under Software Microsoft, HKey Local Machine, Software Microsoft, Windows, CurrentVersion Explorer, folder descriptions. Now I should have checked for a current user too to see if there might be a similar thing. Now, well, that should exist. Oh, plus GUID. How am I getting the other ones to work? I'll just double check here. If not, R shall success. Oh dear. Yeah, this is a problem. This is my own problem. Now I've added stuff in there. It can't return failure because the way I've got this set up is it always creates a key even if it didn't exist in the first place. Although I'm not running as an administrator, so the keys at least shouldn't be the bad ones. Shouldn't have got put in there. What are some of those bad ones? Picture. Like this. MS Paint. So I kind of got lucky here. Now, MS Paint is D652 something something, which probably isn't in here. We do this. Oh, it is there. See, sometimes you just get a thing called name, right? And you figure out by the name what it probably means. This means System 32, right? And that's fine. And sometimes, like this 7C5 one, you get not a name, but a localized name. Okay, so they're similar things. They have a property bag, that is category, I don't know, but localized name is like name, but I guess this means that this has this is locale sensitive. Oh, and it's also got name, so I could have used this too, I guess. But I did this one as well, and that gives me this, but there's a space and a bracket x86. So I should add this to my list as well. If this doesn't exist, check for this. This is the preferred, I would assume, because if it's German, it'll stay German. Then you go and open up shell 32 DLL, and you look up string at the indicated number, and this one, it turns out, returns program files, and then a space, and then bracket x86. Turns out. So that's how that translated. And I know program files x86 refers to %program files %, right? Now, so I added a whole bunch of functions to do with taking, as in this case, first in the registry, this is not a regular string. This is called an expandable string. And so that means it can contain environment variables. So I had to add a thing to the registry functions to deal with this type of string. Not very hard, in fact. Once you've written this function, which expands an environment variable, it's not very hard. It's just a wraparound system function that does the same thing. Doing the usual thing where you pass a buffer that's too small, tells you how many characters you really need, and then you call it again. So let's return the string. Doesn't really test the error conditions or anything. So I'm going to get something quickly. And what else is in our list here? D6. That was this one. That's this, right? That's just system. I just assume that's system 32. F3. That's different. No, is that the same one? Picture. F38V. No, it's not. That's this one. So the name for this one is Windows, and so I just took that to mean percent percent system root. That's what I took that to mean, which is not the same as system 32. I could be wrong, but I am getting an icon, and there is such a file there in C Windows. Just C Windows. That's the only one, actually, in fact. So that really, I think, is pretty strong evidence that Windows stands for the system root environment variable, whatever that is, gives you that. And all of these things are resolved. You notice there are no, in the running program with all of these, I don't understand that. Sometimes these are gray things. None of these things really failed, right? Everything resolved to something that actually exists, or that I know I installed. So now this here is a list of programs that I've run. What I would like to do now, if it's possible, is to find out the last write time for those particular entries. And I can do that. First, I've got to fix this registry thing. For the open, I need another kind of thing that doesn't create the key. Right? Here it's creating. In fact, this shouldn't do this in the constructor at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this class. You can take the same constructors, but before you use it, you're going to have to say either open or create, right? And that's easy. All I got to do, that's just shuffling things around in here. And the rest should be the same. If it's create, I can call this function. If it's not create, but check, open, try to open, and I can use whatever the code is for exists, which I can modify that. To do keys as well as keys as well as values. See, this is not a key name. This is checking for the value, right? And the key here already exists. The MH key is not known, right? So I have to just rearrange this and make it make it more something you can do without disturbing things. You just want to have a look. All right. But besides that, another coding thing I gotta do. These things should have associated write times. The question is, does that get updated when I run something? Like this program itself, which is called, should be in the list here near the bottom. Where is it? Well, maybe not. Because I haven't run it using Explorer. That's right. So this program, which is called Start Menu Man or whatever it's called. I don't even know what I call this thing. Start Man. It's not in this list. But if I run it from here, right? I bet now it'll go in the list. Right at the end. It might be too early. Next time. No? Oh wait, here it is. Now I don't know if it was right there. I have to go and clear it. I gotta clear the whole thing out and just do. I'm pretty sure. Well, certainly that's the only one, right? Suppose I build this in release mode. I don't think that's my problem. Cleaning up those, you're supposed to delete. I might be speaking too soon. Supposed to delete all those icons. I don't know really why. The program's going to terminate, but I do go and delete them. First I was deleting them, and then I wasn't deleting them, and now I am deleting. Not the red squares. The red squares are in here in the resource. No, the red circles, I should say, with the X. But the ones loaded from a program, you notice they don't look very good. And I've noticed that too. It bothers me, but it's good enough. I'm using this extract icon, which if I make the thing big enough, it'll look nice. But once it tries to change this, draw a smaller version, it doesn't come out very well. Not as well as this thing, but these icons are not being taken from extract icon. They're being taken from actual windows, and the windows, have already scaled these things properly, and I don't know how to do that using this. That's my guess, anyway. So you see, you have these things. You rotate all the letters by 13. You go on the registry, and either you get one of these, or you go and locate a string in another DLL, which gives you a name that turns out to be an environment variable, and remap the environment variable to an actual path. And in the end, after all that convoluted horsing around, all of those things, at least the ones, the exe ones, turned out to be paths. I wonder what this is. See, a lot of these, I think, are just paths. This is a name identifier, parent folder. I mean, that's pretty suggestive. What's this F1B? That's this thing. Local app data. I think I can figure out what that is, right? And a lot of these are just paths. Shell : something / I think I have an idea what that might be. Here's another folder, right? Common documents. Here's its name. The name is not a descriptive. Well, it could be a descriptive identifier only. I guess it is. The real name, I suppose, is that. So I shouldn't require this line. This is the one that comes out of localized name. So, what was that one for? Well, anyway, experiment. Experiment. Now, there was only one. My suspicion is that there are going to be two, either this time or the next. Here it is. So it ended up on the bottom. These are not sorted. They're read in the order that they appear in the registry. That's odd, too. Right? The other one is way up here. I should have run it from the T. Well, what I can do is just go and delete that key altogether. UserAssist. This is it here. Not deleted. I also have to figure out what this is. Gonna kill Explorer first. Rename these two. Now, you're gonna see here is something, a thing of beauty. Clean, no? Now let's see. Let's run it from here. So it's not in the list. There's just two things in the list. Dev n. How that got in the list, I don't know. Oh, it was already running when the program started up, I guess. Alright. No, let's see. If I just do this and nothing else, let's see what happens. Alright, now we got this, because that's in this, I guess because, well, that may have been there last time when we didn't see it. Let's do it again. That start man, oh no, start man. That's this program, start man, which I didn't launch from Explorer. I launched through this. So it has nothing to do with Explorer. Alright. Now, what if now this thing, this program, I want to launch like the control panel, let's say. See what happens. Okay, that's just called Windows Control Panel. It'll give us a path. Run it again. That's all there is. Now if I click on something in here, one of these things, they all point to the same thing anyway. What do I want here? Let's say. What does that say? Nothing, right? It may not be finished yet. Nothing. Alright. If I take this action, maybe I gotta actually do something. A new wallpaper. This one I really love. I got really lucky with this. Nothing. So none of that was really running any kind of program. Have a look at this wallpaper. It's funny because I was searching around looking for pictures of what was it? Pictures of I was on a hunt for something specific. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, at some point I clicked, you go to Google and images, and it'll, if you see something you like, you click on it, and then you can view image, right? And you can also go to the page. So I went, one of them, I clicked to this thing, to the page, wherever it was, and the page happened to be, look at that. The page happened to be something where it was like somebody had set up something that connected with their Google Plus pictures. And you could click next and next and next. And most of it was, a lot of it was things to do with cooking, different recipes to cook things. Oh, yeah, it was junkies. I was looking for junkies. I thought that might come up. Yeah, I was wondering why it is before. Okay, so I'm looking for pictures for of junkies. And I thought, like, is it an oxymoron to say attractive junkie or something like that, right? Because I got this other picture, which I don't use as a desktop usually, but it's some junkies. One of them strung out on the floor, and the other one's this one's overdosing, and this one's looking all worried. And I'm going through. this guy's pictures are pretty good. I'm thinking I'm going to keep going from one to the next. And let me show you some of the pictures he has. They're not really junky. Neither is this. Maybe she was famous for being a junkie. This is definitely a junkie. And this is. But these are, some of these are nice. This was one. No, that's not a junkie. It's just a girl. Well, it might not have been labeled as junkie too. Maybe I veered off. And a bunch of other ones too on this page. Mostly to do with, it seems like, with this same, maybe a girlfriend or something. Nice pictures, you know. I don't like the color so much, but she's pretty and these are nice pictures. I should have shown that one too. Same girl. And then there are these weirdo ones. This wasn't the same page, but this was. Right? It's like a ballerina girl, and there was another one that was a ballerina type thing that I probably put in used because I'm trying to keep track of these things. Yeah, this one, right? I thought that's an interesting picture, you know. It's got some kind of interesting look to it. I don't know what they're doing, but it's kind of interesting. And then I run across that other picture, the one here, this one, of Olivia Wilde. I don't know, I never heard of her. And it says Cowboys and Aliens. I don't know what that means, but maybe that's either a movie or something, right? And she's obviously a model, this one. So it just occurred to me to try and put this because of the aliens thing, right? To try and put that together with this. Because she looks like, yeah, that she'd be a good face for someone who's looking up at aliens. And these look like the cult, like people in a cult or something. And so I split it out. And I put her on the top, and I just very quickly with the magic wand tried to put some of these trees behind them. And I thought, well, I got to put something in the middle, right? And I put this thing. And when you put a thing that's I use a shape like a rectangle or something, and you can apply things like, is it shiny, and you can make it have a shadow and stuff. So this here shadow is cast from this thing on here, and then there's this light, and that goes into here, and it makes her kind of glow a bit, and the whole thing just comes together very nicely, I think, and beautifully too, because she's got a very attractive look to her, and she's supposed to be in this image, I think, praying or kneeling down towards the aliens, right? I think, anyway. I tried it in the other direction, doesn't work. Anyway, it just has a nice, it's got a consistency to it, you know? Like, it really does look like aliens, something to do with aliens. And maybe she's like a bad apple or something. I don't know. Sorry, that's sidetracked as usual. Yeah, so now if I can get the dates, it's critical to try, like if I can't do it, then I gotta run a program that is constantly double checking there and putting a timestamp on all of those things. Because what I want to do with this thing for instance, when I was looking at system restore, I'm trying to remember, did I install something on such and such date at, whatever time? I wouldn't have to ask that question. I would run my utility and I would go to that date and it would show me, line by line, everything I did, every program I launched in that day, because the system is keeping track of it all, apparently, right? Or most of it, anyway. These things I think I know how to well, let's see what this does. Do I still have my double click? You can add it. Just so I don't have to try and copy. Oh, I am in there. I have things where double click, receive double click, cursor. Okay, that should do it. Oh, right, of course. Just a minute. Okay. Now all I wanted was this text. Now I wonder if I made a directory with that name, what would I get? Better do it somewhere safe. Like System32 would be a good spot, maybe. Backup. Java. Nothing, just a regular directory. So that's not one of those things that turns into a component, at least not here. Maybe it has to be at the root. I don't remember. No, doesn't do anything. Okay, so that's nothing. But maybe something else. That's the only one. Yes. Oh, yes. Which was the one I just did? That one. Oh, I should have done both. I doubt it. It's probably not going to do anything. Sorry. Nothing. What that one was in the book. Anyway, I can work it out. Yeah, so I really want to have now a history, but just like a web. My web browser has a history. I'd like to turn this into a history thing. And I don't know what else to do with it. It would be nice if it had a type of interface that generated a report, something like an event log. It could show when I click on a particular. When I click on a particular thing, it could show me every program that was running at that particular time, right? So really, I need something that's running and every now and again checking this list, which is now this list, and when it sees a change, take note of the time, and I might miss some, but try to make a record what was running, and maybe I can reconstruct what happened in the past. So that's how project number, let's see, 12/3 is doing. I guess I better cycle over to the next project. Oh, I found out something else too with that ID3 and those funny MP3 files. Another one was failing, and it turned out to be a bug of mine. And I run it, I guess so. It was the middle one, I think. It happened to be the first time I'd run into a UTF-8 encoded field, and I wasn't doing the UTF-8 thing right. I had two things backwards. And it turns out that it's a text field, and its name is track_num, and the encoding is UTF-8, and the text is 01. So you can, again, take a wild guess and try and figure out what you think that might mean. Well, this is a standard thing, track. So this is track 1 of the album. The album is this. It's a CD single one. You come through, blah blah blah, and that's the first track. Here it is. You Come Through. That's the name of the track. I have a feeling that the recording date was somewhere in 2004, and I'm pretty sure I know what that 0 is. I think this is a text field. Text fields have a 1 byte either encoded or not. If not, you get 0, and that means that the remainder of the string is ANSI, and it's either null terminated or it fills up the entire size of the field, in this case, 4 digits, or 4 letters. Okay, so that's it. Another update. See you.